An epic journey saw 12 outlaws battling against one another. After all the dust has settled, only 3 have managed to survive. Jake, who started the season being cast into the first riot. He rose to become a force to be reckoned with. Bill, who strategically positioned himself as a number for the power players. His work paid off as he only fought in one riot. Cookie, after her initial alliance started to crumble, she jumped ship, but managed to do so while still seeming trustworthy. Every elimination has led up to this moment. Which of the 3 will emerge victorious and convince the jury to vote in their favor? This is the finale of Eradication.
Final 3! Congratulations! You are the 3 players that are standing on the podium. Where on the podium? Let's find out. You must create, of course, your own faction of 2. Same thing as last round. Access is granted to 2 rooms still if you want to move around, but you have to return to the courtyard in, again, 3 minutes. Your time starts now.
Hey, can I be honest?
Go for it.
Between me and you, Bill, we're not beating Jake.
I know.
Like, we're
I
not
disagree with that sentiment.
Who would
Like,
beat it? Who would?
you.
How would we beat you? You have the best story out of everyone here.
Yeah, and
you
you're
also
the big-
controlled
yeah.
almost all of the votes.
Yeah, it's like...
I don't think that's don't think that's accurate.
Okay.
Who do you think?
I think Cookie, I think you could.
I've done not much, to be honest. Like, the only thing I've
You've-
done was stay in factions. Like,
Yes, and that's a pretty powerful thing to do. You have been able to, and this is a compliment,
thank
you have kind of been able to pivot and work with a multitude of different people throughout this
Yeah.
game. The 3 of us did turn on Gia, and you had Gia the very next the very next 2 rounds wanting to save you. You have that ability to talk to people and persuade them. You've also played a
But
very
you
powerful
also
game.
have that. You also have that persuasive, because since you've been in that first riot, the only time you entered riots when I think all of us, or the last round where we've entered riots.
Cookie,
like-
have you ever been voted into a riot or left into a
Not
riot?
yet. But if you're gonna
See?
put me, if you're gonna put me on persuasive, you have better backstories. Like, okay, I was in a riot. I got to persuade my way to stay in again and everything. I hadn't had to do that. I was just really lucky that I was like, there was times where I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, I haven't done as much as you have. I want to point that out. Like, you have a way better story than I do.
I respect what you're saying. I just disagree because I think it's very good to avoid the riot. The riot puts you in danger. You did a very good job at avoiding it.
Aren't we all trying to avoid the riot here? It's like, that's not a big thing on me. Like, we're all trying
Yes,
to
but
avoid
you
the
did
riot.
it. Bill and I didn't.
Yeah.
I should have been. The jury knows I probably should have been out round 1 because if
Yes, but you
I can't
have
remember
that.
who
You
was
have
making
that
it.
round 1. I don't. You have the story. I don't.
And you have good social connections.
the only
with the
thing
majority.
the only thing I have that. Oh, I never went to the riot unless it's Overlord or whatever. That's the only thing I have. You have a whole. I did this in a riot. I did all this. I did this. Guesswork. You have a really good story, and I'm complimenting you on that one. You did a great.
Oh, I appreciate
like,
it.
You have like I know that I would beat you. I know that. If it was me and you, I would beat you.
I don't
Like,
think that's true. And I think if Bill takes you, he's gonna realize that he made a mistake.
Like, I've done not much. I'm just saying, I haven't done much. Bill, I'm gonna put you in with me. I'm honest with that.
Well, I'm assuming Jake's doing the same thing. So
I am.
Probably. So
and
you are safe.
You have 1 minute to finalize your faction.
Bill, one last thing I'd like to say.
yeah.
We both.
Every round, except for 1, we have worked together in this game. And I did that very intentionally. Because
Yeah.
as soon as you said you were a teacher, you were someone I knew I wanted to work with, someone I knew I wanted to play this entire game with.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, he had the story. He said, I knew you. I was gonna go after you. We were together. Like,
That's not what I
story's
said.
there.
I said I worked in tandem with him.
Yeah.
I
like,
think
you.
Bill, you know the right decision. You know she's gonna win if she makes it to the end. I think you have a good chance against me.
There was a huge like back and forth. You both like you were like, oh, Nora. I'm just saying, like, no matter if you are still here, Jake, like it's none of us.
I say the exact same thing about you. I think you win if you're in the final 2, Cookie. Bill, I think you have an easier time beating me personally. Obviously, Cookie's gonna try to convince you otherwise, and I respect her for doing that.
Case. We both pled our cases.
I've also pled my case.
Yeah.
Thank you for both pleading your cases. I listened to you. I thought about it. I think I made a decision. We're not going to a riot. Okay, I'm just going to establish that now. If you both chose me, we're not going to a riot. I think I made the best decision for my game, which is kind of sucky because all the jurors just heard you two just give a huge arguments for both each other's games on flip, and I just had to sit here and listen, right? So I was basically like the last juror. But I'm just hoping the jury listens to my story. No matter what I chose who I thought I could be. I chose the player who I think I can be.
No matter what you choose, it was a great time. No matter what you choose.
Are the votes in? Are the votes in? I just want to say one thing. During my interview for this game, I looked Florangi in the eye and said, I'm gonna play a really good game and then get cut at the final 3. Fucking show it, Florangi. I'm ready.
Jake!
What?
Riot! Jake will be in the riot.
So I lose.
Riot for Cookie.
What?
And Bill, you are once again safe. Congratulations, Bill. You will be in the final 2. You will be in the verdict. It will be a Cookie versus Jake final battle.
I wish you would have explained that.
I thought I did because it's the same thing as last round.
Alright, you got your coat hanger?
You know what? Yeah, it's coat hanger time, right?
People.
It's coat hanger time?
So sorry, but, well, that's what it is. Cookie versus Jake.
That's
Anyways.
May the best person win.
I did choose someone, though. For the record, I did choose someone.
Who do you choose?
Who'd you choose, Bill?
Oh, it doesn't matter now? It doesn't really matter now, the winner or loser. Well, actually it does matter, because if the person...
No, go ahead and turn off your camera and microphone.
Damn it, I wanted to know. Alright, let's do it.
This is the final standoff. Here's how this competition will work. Hopefully you're familiar with aphorisms. What they are famous sayings that you should all be aware of. For example, let me just pick one right now. Slow and steady wins the race. That's an aphorism. So it's a phrase that everyone pretty much knows about. I am going to be saying an aphorism, but I will leave out one word. So it would be slow and wins the race. Your job is to buzz in as quick as you can by saying the missing word. So you would say steady. Exactly. Now, whoever does not say it in time isn't out or anything. They will be asked a trivia question about this season. They will have 10 seconds to answer. If they are correct, they survive. If they are wrong, they get a life lost. 3 strikes and you're out for this one. So if you miss 3 questions, you are eradicated. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Alright. Now.
Hey, Cookie. Cookie, my theater friend, good luck.
Yeah,
no hard feelings either way.
No hard feelings.
And we're starting. Here's your first missing aphorism. The doesn't fall from the tree.
Apple.
Oh, fuck.
Apple is correct. Cookie, name 4 of the 5 pre-jurors. 10, 9,
Sin,
8,
Izzy,
7,
fuck,
6,
Emmy,
5,
and Gia.
4, 3,
That's 4, right?
2,
That's 4.
1. I said name 4 of the 5 pre-jurors.
Oh, that cut out for me.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. I can't.
Fuck.
I'm sorry. Gotta take that from you. That is 1 down for Cookie. Alright, here comes your next one. Here comes your next one. A is worth 1,000 words.
Picture.
Look. Oh.
Picture is correct. Cookie, your question. How many auto-elimination rounds were scheduled this season? You get 1 guess. 10, 9, 8,
3.
7. 3 is correct.
Good job.
Thank you.
If it ain't broke, don't it?
Fix.
Fix is correct.
I know
Cookie,
none of
your
these.
question. How many spins of the wheel did Kaz accept? 10,
Has?
9,
Was it
8.
4?
4 is correct.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Caught between and a hard place.
Rock.
Rock is correct. Cookie.
I know none of these.
Who
Yeah.
was the 7th boot?
Seven.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Oh,
four,
Chappie.
Chappie
Champ-
is
Chappie.
incorrect.
Oh,
Chappie was 7th place,
Oh,
and
oh.
me was the 7th boot.
I'm so out. It's fine.
It is 2 strikes on Cookie, 1 more, and Cookie is out. It takes to tango.
2.
Cookie is correct. Jake, your question.
Did you not hear me?
Cookie beat you by this much.
Oh, wow. Okay. Good job, Cookie.
Thank
Who
you.
was player number 01? 10,
Oh,
9, 8,
Ankar,
7,
I,
6,
how do I say
5,
his name? How do
4,
I say his name?
3, 2.
It's
1,
Ankar, the furry
0.
peanut butter. Ankar.
Nope, his name is Arca,
Arca.
not Angpar.
Alright, that's
So
my
it's
bad.
Arca. So that's a strike on Jake. 2-1. Next question. You made your, now lie in it.
Ed.
That is correct. Cookie just beat you. Here comes your question.
Wait, who?
How many
Me?
seconds? Yeah, Cookie, this question is for you.
Oh, okay.
How many seconds was Jake challenged to complete the first riot? 10,
Uh,
9, 8, 7,
wasn't it
6,
a minute 45?
5. It was... Jake, you want to say it?
90 seconds.
Jake, you have won this riot. Congratulations. Cookie, I'm so sorry, but you have gotten 3rd place.
Yeah.
Hey, if you play again, if you follow the track, you'll win. So maybe next time. Cookie, I can't
Cookie, I'm
grant
so
you
sorry.
3
I'm so
points.
sorry.
It's all
You
good.
have to now turn off your camera and microphone.
Is it
Jake,
hanger time?
it is...
We're in
No.
jury time, buddy. We're in jury.
Jake and
What do you
Bill,
mean jury?
congratulations. You are the
We
final
made it.
2 competitors. The 5 recently eliminated players, which are... Oh god, I should have been keeping track. Cookie, Gia, Sin, Emmy, and Lizzie will be asking you 2 questions about your game.
Oh.
Here's how this is going to work. We are going to have both of you have a 2 minutes, just 2 minutes, to say why you deserve to win Season 2 of Eradication Live. Jake, for winning the final 3 riot, you get to choose. Would you like to go first or second?
Bill, why don't you go first?
I think my simple speech is that I tried to play a middle of the road kind of game where I kind of trying to jump into different alliances. I quickly noticed that everyone was starting to stick together with 2 people. So I tried to play a game where I moved around and tried to shuffle different alliances. I was trying to just basically play to be everyone's filler. Basically, if something came up and another drama basically came up, I would quickly be like, hey, I'll help you out there and stuff. I also was a big person to challenge the ideas that people were like, of these duos and of these trios that we were seeing. I was one to point them out and say to put pressure on them, so they had to change their game. Because once I put pressure onto them, they would have to force to change their game. And then when they have to go for me, the guy who sat on the outside waiting for them to come to me after they had to change their game. Now, again, those are all their choices. I'm not saying that like I was constantly forcing moves on these players because everyone's playing to win. But I feel like I saw an opportunity to always leave myself as a life raft, basically. A life raft to save everyone's games. And by making myself constant value in the game, that's the reason why I'm here. If I wasn't here, I would have gone immediately. But I constantly was making myself a valuable asset for everyone's games. And that's why I'm here. You could say that I was a floater in a sense. But I wouldn't say that because I was specifically choosing certain moves and going with certain people. You could even point out a big argument was with me and Cookie at the final 505, where basically when Sin and Jake were making appeals, it basically came down to me and Cookie to make that and stuff. That is a huge turning point in the game, and it came down to me and Cookie to make a final call, and Cookie went to me for the final call. But I'm not going to take away from Cookie. It was both of us together that controlled that final 5. And that was just one of my moves. I have multiple, and I'm willing to answer any questions for you guys as well. I just want to say I played the game exactly how I wanted to play.
Thank you, Bill. And Jake, your 2 minutes starts right now.
Oh my god, I am so nervous right now. Okay, first I need to thank production for casting me in this game. I have no business being among these all-stars. I am so happy to be here. My story is a story of redemption. Round 1, I had no idea how this game worked. I was left out. I fought and I got so fucking lucky. Thanks to my furry friend, he is the only reason that I was able to get here, so I feel like I need to dedicate a part of my speech to him. After that is when my social game kicked in. I became someone that people wanted. They knew that they could grab me. Everyone thought that they could grab me and pull me in a different direction. And if I became everyone's best friend, then I was constantly gaining information that would allow me to bob and weave and pivot through this game. Notice how I didn't just stay to one side every single time. Originally, I was in that group with Lizzie, Emmy, Bill, and etc. And then I got pulled into a group with Chappie and Kaz, also with Bill. And then I made a group with Cookie and Gia and myself. And that would allow me to pivot through this game, all the while maintaining trust and having a big voice that people would listen to. Physically, I won every challenge that I competed in, and I competed in, I believe, all three forced riots, and then that final one. And strategically, at the final 7, I noticed there were two other duos. There was Emmy and Sin, and guys, I'm sorry, I'm so nervous right now. I'm really sorry. Gia and Cookie, and I noticed, and I had to make a decision between Lizzie and Bill.
Time is up. Thank you for your speech. Lizzie, you now have 2 minutes of your own time to interrogate the finalists. You can do it in any way you want, ask them questions, rant their ears off. However you want to spend these 2 minutes to finalize your vote for the winner is up to you. Ready?
Sure. Yeah.
Time starts now.
I'll start with Jake. Jake, something I admire about your game is that you didn't align with pre-existing relationships automatically. You and I know each other, and we did not align, really, in this game. And I think that's really admirable.
Jake, this is just going to be a really basic question, but why do you think my vote should go to you?
Jake, I feel like you went from barely making it out first round to being a power player and having your voice heard almost every single round. What do you think your best move in this game was?
Jake, meanwhile, you've been playing a very dominant game, especially at the end. At the start, you were kind of like also being dragged around a little, but then you actually like stood up and started playing for yourself. So I wanted to ask, what was like the turning point for your game? What was like the main move that actually made you like this big power player?
I do have a question for both of you. That if you could choose one big thing that you did within the past almost going on 4 hours, I think, what would that one thing be? One.
I knew you were a good player. You were someone I knew I wanted to work with at some points, but I knew just because you and I were buddies and still are, we're Facebook friends, it doesn't mean that I have to throw my game away to pivot to be at your side.
I believe I should get your vote because I was able to persuade people to turn against you at the right opportunity.
My best move in this game was the final 7 when I very openly said, Bill, let's partner up, and I cut Lizzie out of the equation because I knew Bill would be more loyal to me than Lizzie would. Believe it or not, the turning point of the game was me being put in that very first riot because I knew exactly the strategy that I needed to do going forward. I noticed there was 2 prominent duos in the game. There was Emmy and Sin, there was you and Gia. I did not have a duo at that point, and I knew to beat a duo, you needed your own partner.
Bill, same question for you right now is why do you think my vote should go to you?
Bill, in my opinion, you played an amazing under-the-radar game. You didn't have to be loud. You could just go the side that you chose, and I think that was very adaptable. Can you elaborate on that, please, on your under-the-radar game?
Bill, you said that you were playing a middle-of-the-road game, you know? You said like you weren't really like tied to any alliance and all. But That's exactly what my question is about. Like, why did you decide to play the middle of the road game?
I mean, I do want to add, I came into this game knowing no one. I didn't know anyone in this game. So me playing my game was entirely me self-preservation and me trying to adapt on the go every single round.
Yeah.
When you and Sin went to go do that little duo talk when the four of us were up and it was the 1 for 3 faction thing, I was clearly stating that I was willing to put my game on the line to send you two to the Eradication, and there was a lot, I could sense there was a lot of power players as well that wanted to make jump moves, like Chappie. Then Gia wanted to make a power move with Cookie and Lizzie. And then Jake was another big one who was willing to make moves and stuff. And I knew that if I showed myself as a person that was there for those power players, they would constantly keep trying to pull me. And the whole time I'm doing that, my goal is to stay out of the riot and keep going further in the game. To answer your question, the answer is power players. I noticed there's power players, big players who are wanting to make moves. You being one of them with your move on Cookie, and you're trying to save Lizzie. Another big one was Chappie with his big move and stuff. I noticed Jake was a huge power player. And my idea was I wanted to be a person that power players want to work with, right? I want power players to want to come to me. Because when you guys wanted to make those moves, you would go to players like me who were sitting on the outskirts, but were like socially, I showed signs of trust. But Final 5, that was a crucial point. Sin versus Jake, right? What is it? And then I remember I pointed out to you and I said us two basically control this because I could see ahead in the game and I could see we were in Final 3.
All right, Jake, your time and your final speech starts now.
Alright guys, once again thank you to production for having me. I was able to explain a lot of my social game to you guys, my ability to lay a foundation of trust to a majority of the cast so that when I made my voice heard, people would want to listen and protect me when people would target me. Strategically, I explained the moves, I explained why I cut people, I explained how I systematically disbanded duos by convincing Bill to join my side. Physically, I won enough challenges to get me here, and I wasn't afraid to face the riot. The riot is part of this game, and I wanted to use that as much as I could, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention that I did not play a perfect game. I had flaws in my game too. I could have gone home round 1, and most likely, if the final twist wasn't a face-off, I would have gone home too. Yes, I had weaknesses in my game, but I also believe I had enough strengths to be a person worth winning. The teacher in me wants to say vote with your heart, but vote with your heart if it's a vote for me. Just kidding, Bill, you'd be an amazing winner. Please vote for the person who you think should be the face of this season. Regardless, I have love for each and every one of you. Thank you for spending the past 4 hours with me. Thank you.
Thank you again. I want to thank production. This was amazing. I had a ton of fun. I'm sure everyone else here can agree with that. But going on to my game, I said this to a few people, and you're going to be hearing the same thing. But that was my goal, and that was I wanted to play around power players, Chappie, Gia, and Jake. I wanted to play around these people and show them that I'm there for them anytime, right? And I also wanted to put seeds. I want to put doubt into the big players, the big duos, the big trios. I wanted to point these out, and I did at many points in the game, so that people would be like, I need to free myself up from this look, and then went to me for help. I had a lot of big times where I was a crucial player for a lot of swings, a lot of big like moment chains. If you went and rewatch this, you would see big moment shifts. People went to Bill. Bill was the most important player for big movement changes in this game. Without me, things might have stayed stagnant. Note that Jake said he needed me for a duo to stay in the game. Without me, he would have been falling into a different duo and might fall on a trap. But I'm not going to take away from Jake's game because Jake had a phenomenal game as well. But we had different games, so we also worked together throughout the whole thing. I do want to say one final thing. My biggest move, Final 5. And I'm sure if Cookies could say, and everyone could say, at Final 5, I had to choose between Jake and Sin, and the final vote came up to me, and I knew that that vote was going to basically decide if I was going to be in Final 3 or Final 2. And I chose Sin because I could see a path for Sin to win. And I had to make that call, and like all the pressure went on to me. I think I made the perfect choice to meet me here. I'm sitting here. I had a perfect Final 4, Final 3. I was safe. Both times I was safe. People could have sent me to the riot, but they chose to keep me in here. I think I played the game exactly how I wanted to play. I made myself valuable. And when you're valuable, people will take you to the end. And it's not like I didn't do anything, because I will argue to the sun that I did everything I could have. I was always there, and played my heart out.
I have to congratulate you two. You have finished the season. It is over.
I'm gonna shit my pants.
Good luck.
I just want one vote. I just want one vote. I just want one vote.
I have to say, what an incredible season. Seriously. Great job, every single player who was involved this season. This is somehow as memorable, if not more memorable than season 1, which was a high bar that was set for all of you. But round after round, this cast amazed me with their different ideas, tactics, emotions. It was just all around so fun to watch. I have to give, of course, mad props to both Jake and Bill. Jake, for you to survive that first riot on, I think it just was a wild guess, and then dominate the game the way you did from your position, even though you were seemingly an obvious threat, really was incredible to watch. It was stellar gameplay, something that future players will hopefully base their games off of. Really great stuff. Bill, you were in the position that every single player wants to be in and should work to be in, and you actually succeeded. We've had not that many people who were legitimate threats to win actually just get left out of the Final 4 and Final 3. Actually, wait, no one's done it before. You're the first. So, it's really remarkable considering how you had legitimate win equity. I won't spoil who wins, but weren't thrown in. Jake, Bill, two incredibly different games, but only one of them can win. Lizzie has cast her vote for Jake to win Season 2 of Eradication Live.
I'm happy I got one.
One vote for Jake. Emmy has cast their vote for Jake to win Season 2 of Eradication Live. That's 2 votes for Jake. Bill needs all 3 to still win the game. Sin has voted for Bill. That is 2 votes for Jake, 1 vote for Bill, 2 votes left. Gia has cast his vote for the winner of Eradication Live Season 2. It is Jake in a 4-1. Congratulations, Jake. Jury, you can come on, unmute, turn on your cameras. Congratulations.
No, that was my number 1. That was my big boy. That was my big boy. And I'm so glad my boy was the one that made him win.
Jake, that was amazing. We gotta ask, how are you?
I would like to share something with everyone. When I interviewed for this game, it was the day I found out that I lost my job. And I interviewed and I said I was going to give 100% and I was going to show that I was worth being here, and I didn't believe it. I didn't think I could do it. I was lying in my interview, but I did it. That's really cool.
You proved yourself.
In a really intense season full of really strong players, Jake, you were clearly the strongest. It was Final 6 or Final 5 that Luke messaged me saying, that's the best live player we've ever had. It was remarkable watching you do what you did. Really, such a stellar game. I think that everyone this season was incredible, but I would be wrong if I didn't say the right player won. Really great job.
I disagree. I think Xavier should have won. I think Xavier was screwed.
Xavier. Huge thank you to the rest of the cast. All 12 players really showed up and played their heart out, and that made this such a memorable night. Thank you to all of you. We are going to sign off. See you for mini Season 3. Bye!
Thank you for joining us for Season 2 of Eradication Live. If you enjoyed this season, consider jumping on our 75% off Ruby membership sale. And check out our Discord server to get all the juicy news about Eradication. See you all for Season 3.